Hi friends, I'm going to show you a way to make a painting of the earth today. And what I'm going to use is a coffee filter. That's this thin tissue paper that you put in a coffee machine to make coffee. But don't worry, if you don't have a coffee filter at your house, I'm going to also show you a way to make the earth with just paper. So you can wait for the second part of the video. But I'm going to also use watercolor paints, and that's it for this part. So first what you need is a piece of white paper, and construction paper or cardstock paper would work best, but if you don't have that, plain just printer white paper will work. Then you spread out the coffee filter so it's in the middle of your paper. You don't want it to go off the ends because the earth is round, so I want it to be a circle. Then I'm going to use some green to make the land of my earth. So I'm going to get the green really wet. And I'm going to kind of hold my coffee filter in the middle until I start putting some paint on. Then it will stick to the paper all by itself. But I'm just going to get a lot of wet green on there for the land. And I want to use a lot of paint so it will soak through. Okay, so I'm going to soak. This is why we put the paper underneath it too. We don't want it to be bleeding onto the table. Okay, so maybe I'll make the land. Come over here. Maybe this will be South America. Here. See, now it's kind of getting to stick, so that's pretty good. And I'll just paint a little bit like that. And then I'll come up here and add more of North America. Maybe more water now. But yours should look like mine, kind of bleeding through and sticking to the paper underneath. That's going to make it work out. Okay, and then maybe I'll put over here. Here's part of Africa and Europe. Does that really look like the continents? No, that's okay. This is painting on a coffee filter. We're just trying to get some land and some water on the earth. Maybe there's some island over here. Okay, now the rest I'm going to do blue for the ocean. So I'm going to do the same thing, but you'll notice I don't really have to hold it very much anymore. It's kind of sticking to the paper all by itself. And I'm going to stick it on like this. And it's okay if it bleeds a little bit into the green. I think it kind of looks cool. All right, and then I'm going to get some water on there. Okay, and now the other side. And then I'm going to make sure that I go all the way to the edge. I don't want any white showing on my coffee filter. I want it to be all colored. And if I go off the paper a little bit, that's it. Or off the coffee filter a little bit, that's okay. But I don't want any white showing. Okay, so I've filled in my whole thing. Now I want to let it dry. Don't touch it. Leave it on the paper until it's all dry. Alright, so if your earth is dry, the coffee filter part is all dry and your painting's all dry, you can carefully lift this up and you can keep this. This is just another picture of the earth, but look underneath. Doesn't that look kind of fancy? It looks like the earth, but with the white, which kind of looks like the clouds over the earth from outer space. And if you'd like to, just like we saw on the cover of Todd Parr's book, you can put a little heart in the middle of your earth. So you can get a red piece of scratch paper, or if you don't have red paper, you can color red onto white and then cut it out. So you just fold it in half like that, and then you make a little shape like a 2, but without the line on the bottom. Watch me. You go around, and then when you get to the end, that's just like the beginning of a 2 without the back part. And then when you open it up, it'll be a heart, and you can glue that right in the middle of your earth like that. So maybe I'll put some glue over here, and then I'll put it right in the middle there. If you want to go the extra step and make your story a little bit fancier, we can glue it onto some black paper. All right, now this time I'm going to show you how to make a picture of the earth if you don't have a coffee filter at your house. So I'm going to find something round, like a bowl, that will fit inside my paper. So this one makes a pretty good circle. That way I can trace a perfect circle onto my paper. I want to use a Sharpie because I'm going to color it in with paints again. But do you think I want to trace Sharpie onto my bowl or something that's real and round from my house? No, it's permanent marker. It would draw on my bowl and I don't want to do that. So I'm also going to use a pencil. So I'm going to put it on my paper in the middle. I'm going to hold it with my hand like this and just lightly go around the outside to make a circle. Okay, now I can put my bowl and my pencil away. Now I'm going to use my Sharpie. So I'm going to trace back over the pencil lines with my Sharpie. This way the paint won't wash it away. And if I go off of the pencil a little bit, that's okay. I could always erase it or paint over it. Okay, and then this time I'm going to draw some of the earth. So here's the land, and then down like that, and then maybe that one. And here's another continent over here, and maybe another continent here, and maybe an island or two. There. Okay. And just like with the coffee filter one, I'm going to paint the land green and the ocean blue. Pretty easy, right? So if you have something at your house that's a circle, you can trace it onto your paper and then draw and paint it in. If you don't have paint at your house, could you use crayons or markers to color it in? Yeah. As long as the land is green and the water is blue, people will recognize it, that it looks like the earth for sure. Okay, so I'm going to go fast now. There. You'll also want to let this dry before you do anything else. When your earth is all dry, even the paint is dry, you can do the same thing that we did for the other one. You can take a piece of red paper and fold it in half, and then cut out a shape like a 2 without the little tail on the end. So you go up and around all the way to the bottom, so it kind of looks like the beginning of a 2. Open it up, and then you can put it right in the middle of your earth. If it's too big, you could cut it down, but I kind of like having a little big one. So I'm going to give it a little bit of glue, stick it on right in the middle so it looks similar to Todd Parr's book.